Hey everybody, Joe Misfit Glenn here. Welcome to the question and answer minute with minute with Misfit. Geez, that's going to take me a minute. What's up, Prez? What's up, Josue? I'm getting better with that name, man. Oh, good, man. I'm glad you're watching those highlights, man. How's everybody doing tonight? Doing good? Hell yeah. See everybody. All right, give it just a couple more seconds. Donna King, thanks for showing up. I think you might be new. I haven't seen your name before, I don't believe, Donna. Welcome. What's up, Jeff? Shane, I got some information for you, my man. Thank you for showing up. All right. Okay, man. So tonight, it's basically just question and answers, right? So answer people asking questions. I try to answer them off the top of my head. Don't be trying to trip me up, y'all. But I also have something for Shane about a soil recipe. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about soil and how to make it. Speed a couple clones and late trimming and topping. I was reading into that mostly. Okay, yeah. Trimming and topping. Okay, we can get after that. Just remind me a little bit later, Josue, okay? After we get done with this soil thing. Wild Bill's wifey. Okay, Wild Bill. Well, anyway, nice to see you. Welcome. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's get into it. Okay. So this is for Shane. He asked a question, and so I'm sure everybody else can kind of go with it. He was asking about soil recipes on a budget. All right. That's hard to do if you're going to be buying stuff. Okay. And so if you're going to make your soil, it's going to take some time. You got to remember that. Okay. They have this thing, what they call cooking your soil. You got to let it sit out because your nutrients, if your brand new plant gets into this soil that's hot, right? Because it has all these nutrients that are just maximized, right? Over time, when it aerates and stuff like that, it gets to where the plants can handle it. So without any more crap on that, I've been talking to some people. This is how they do it. And then I'll go into what I do. All right. So to build a true living soil, okay? And so basically what that means is you have microbes and organisms in the soil that are moving around, delivering all the nutrients to the roots as the roots give off pheromones and ask for a specific thing, like say nitrogen or potassium, right? Okay. So now that you know the true living soils or organisms or whatever, the TLO is what they're going to call it. This book right here, Native swears by this book. I got this book because of it and started reading on it. They tell you all kinds of information on all these different parts of soil. Okay, so first off, a little bit of bag soil. Okay, Fox Farms is good. I like it. It has the perlite in it. It has a lot of good stuff in it. Then, which is about $20 to $25 for a 2 cubic foot bag, right? Everybody kind of on there. Hey, what's up, Joe? Okay, and so that's probably going to be your most expensive part is these name brand soils. You can get a different soil. That's on you, man. Go ahead for it. Go after it. What you want to add to that is compost. All right. So you got cow manure, chicken manure, horse manure. I assume you guys can come up with all kinds of crazy stuff for that. All right. Or, I'm sorry, so you got the manure with all the, vegetables and stuff you guys throw in there. I don't do this. And so basically going off of what I've read. Okay. You want to add some perlite to it. And I was also advised to get a bag of this stuff called 555 from like a Tractor Supply. It's like $10. So it's a feeding system. So you mix all that stuff. It's all nutrients and stuff. What was in it? Let me see. There was bone meal, kelp meal, and soft rock phosphate. Now, with the bone meal, or let's go with the soft rock phosphate. Okay, what that stuff does is it brings the phosphorus and sulfur into the soil, and it helps hold your nitrogen. Very important for a plant. Okay. So Joe's saying The Soul of Soil is another good book. So go check that out, guys. All right. And so let me think about where this bone meal is. Oh, well, if you had this book right here, it would tell you all of these different things and what they do. Okay. Soft rock phosphate, I already told you. The bone meal, he always uses it when he's growing in TLO, or the true living soil, right? Bone meal raises the pH and adds beneficial CalMag, or calcium, okay, with phosphorus and nitrogen. Anyway, so go get this book, y'all. Go get this dang book. I think it was $25 on Amazon. All right. But you won't have to go messing around with another book. Okay. So when you're cooking your soil, I was told you put a tarp down, you throw all this stuff in there and mix it really good. And let me reiterate, you mix it really good. If you have anything like the bone meal, even your bone meal, kelp meal or whatever, and you still have a rock of it inside your soil, and those, you didn't notice it, and those roots hit it, right? Those roots are going to lose their mind, and you're going to have a real big problem with your plant, okay? And you're going to have to do some work to get that fixed. You may not even know what happens before you lose your plant. All right. Now, when you're cooking, the colder the temperature in your room, wherever you're doing it, the colder, the longer it's going to take to cook it out. Okay. I was told the longer the better, but I've heard that 70, 72 degrees, 2 weeks, you should be square. All right. So as far as the soil, those things that I just mentioned, you got about $55 making soil, a month wait time, and or 2 weeks to a month wait time, and you probably get 4 to 5 gallon buckets out of that. Let's go down to the 4 gallons. You might get 5 or 6 of the 4 gallons, maybe 6 to 8 of the 3s, and then 10 to 12 of the 1s. Cool. What's up, Chris Morris? Thanks for showing up. Appreciate you. And so $55, you could have, like I said, 4 to 5 gallon pots, which those plants, anywhere from 4 to 8 ounces, I assume, on average. Some people can get them way up there. And so, yeah, the turnaround is pretty good. You get dang near a pound out of $55 of soil and a seed. Not terrible. All right, so let me tell you what I do. So all this stuff is great, and I will get to it soon, but I'm not there yet. So what I have found is I use the Ocean Forest by Fox Farms. That's all I use. I don't add nothing. No perlite, no vermiculite, everything. The perlite's already in there. All I do is I add the myco, right? The mycorrhiza, living soil type stuff. There's many names. I think Great White's one of them. Bigfoot, all kinds of stuff. There are a dime a dozen out there, okay? Hey, Dustin Kent, thanks for showing up. And we're glad to have you, Bubba. Glad to have you. Okay, and so I just use the Fox Farm soil, right? I do what I've already done videos on. I put my seed in there. I don't mess with that soil until the plant is telling me she has a problem. Perhaps a little bit having a calcium or a magnesium deficiency. You always just throw some CalMag in there, right? If you have if she's showing signs of a potassium or nitrogen deficiency, I feed her. Now, what I feed her is what they call Grow More. All right. Sorry, you can't see the name. I wore it off. But I bought this 5-pound bag of Grow More. It's 20-20-20, right? I bought that bag when I was doing my professional grow. And I stopped doing that after 2 years of growing professionally. I stopped, and it's been a year and a half since then, and I still have 4 pounds of it. So I didn't want to waste this because that was like $50 for that bag. But now I'm probably going to have to move along after, too much longer. Age does matter to these nutrients. Probably not the best choice of nutrients, but it's what I had. I've learned a lot since then. And so my next go around, it's going to be something small, and because I don't use nutrients very much. Hey, Charlie, no worries, man. You could always go back and look. It wasn't much except for some soil stuff, Bubba. So anyway, the nutrients, man, it's a big old to do. Everybody gets sideways about their nutrients. I literally feed my plants maybe twice a grow, and that's like 4.5 months to 5 months. They just don't need it. And so, you see a lot of these people that are coming up with this immediate problem within a week's time, their plant's dead. It's because they didn't notice the signs of that plant being pissed off about all these weird nutrients and these salts and all these chemicals going in them. But so let me see here. Hey, Shane, any other questions on that, my man? Anything else I can hit on? Hey, in perlite, guys, I've heard people say that perlite helps with moisture. No, it doesn't. It doesn't hold moisture. What it does, it's really porous, right? So around the outside, the moisture will stick there, but the microbes, all your living soil stuff, they hide out in there, right? Because like protects them. Think about that. These microbes, you can't see them with your eye, and so they all hide out in there, and they eat all their stuff, and anyway, that's what the perlite does. And in this book, it tells you about all the things for aerating, like perlite and vermiculite, and what they're good for. This guy swears by vermiculite over perlite. Hey, sure thing, Shane. Is there anything else that I missed, man? Like I said, man, this is just off my head, except for the couple of notes that I took. Okay. Joe, unfortunately, man, I can't talk about soil structure, man. I ain't that smart, my guy. I am not a soil expert. Like I said, man, for me, I just use Fox Farm soil because it's working. And I don't have very many issues with it. After I'm done with my breeding projects, soil will probably be my next go-to for learning. And while I'm learning, y'all will be learning, as much as I could teach you. Cool. All right, Shane. So I'm going to go with you got what you need. But hey, if you have any more questions later, just hit me up, okay? Hey, Joe, is there anything else that you want to talk about that I may know about? Sorry in advance, bro. Here's a little note. I've never heard of this, but I read it in this book, True Living Organics, right? So he was saying to add dry rice to your soil. Some people add dry rice in there. And I was like, why would you do that? It would absorb your water, but it would also hold it, right? Well, it says that it feeds the microbes and it has calcium and iron in it. So that's a pretty slick little deal that maybe somebody is willing to take the chance on and make it happen. To have my clones growing without anything beyond filtered water, PNW sunshine. Since Memorial Day, I got my food order so I can add more to them beyond water and sunshine. Yeah, man, that food is supposed to be really good stuff. I personally haven't been able to use it. I haven't used it yet. I wouldn't mind trying it. Hey, Josue, since you have that food or anybody else in here, does it smell? Does it have that good old fish emulsion knock you on your butt smell? And if so, how do you guys deal with that in your indoor grow? Is that a thing? Rice holes. All right, Aaron. Cool. Rice holes are good as well, guys. Let me put this up here so you guys can see it. Any information, man, this is what it's all about. Good for aeration, and then they decompose, they release silica. Wow, okay. Rice husks have silica in it. Really good. I would suggest you'd want to do that. If you're going to make your own soil, I would add some holes in it. Reason being is because the silica is going to help you right from the get to strengthen your stalks and stems. Noted. I'm going to write it down. It's like y'all should be. Rice holes. Little sand. Can you explain, JoJo? Rice holes turn to silica. Nice. And that's a natural silica. That's really good. So the sand. Now, what do I know about sand? I don't know anything about sand as far. Oh, hey, what's up, senior? Sand in your soil, I assume that there's some kind of a aeration purpose there. Not really sure. Let me advise the book. See what the book says. 55 promise. I got a question. If I spray half my photofem plant with, okay, can I let it pollinate the other half of the plant? Okay. While I'm waiting on Joe's response, Dustin, I have done the colloidal thiosulfate and the colloidal silver. There's two different things. I've done both of them. When the bud, because they develop bud and flower, and then they have the male flowers coming out of their bud. I haven't got to the point to be successful with the that colloidal silver stuff yet. All right. I did a male and bred that with the pollen. My next go around with my breeding is to do this STS. It was told to me that you can do this. Okay. You can pollinate or stress out one to pollinate it and shake it over there and have a big fan blowing, and it would do it. I didn't get any seeds out of it. And so I know I screwed up. I don't know what I did wrong, but I will do it again. And when I find that out, man, I can let you know. Unless you find it out and let me know, please and thank you. Right? All right, Joe. Okay, let me see what you got now with the. Sorry about that, my man. What's up, Vince? Outdoor plants, desert suffering. Yeah, Charlie, man. I know that heat's something else, ain't it? At what temp do microbes die, or can they survive the heat? You know what, man? I might be making an experiment thing. Yeah, Dustin, I'm thinking. I was told, and that's what I tried to do. I was just unsuccessful, man. Like I said, maybe it was my timing, because I believe it was timing for when those flowers opened up. You have to be there, right? Otherwise, they degrade over a couple of days' time in the heat, in the sun, the intensity of the sun. You feel me? All right, Charlie, give me one sec, bro. See, this is what I do, guys, man, because I ain't that smart, man. I Google. Google's real smart. Okay, at what temp do microbes die in the soil? They said most soil microbes grow best at temperatures between 60 and 85. Okay, that's not what I asked. What temperature soil microbes most active? How do you kill microbes in the soil? Temperature kills soil microbes. 160 degrees. 160 degrees, right? So you're still good, man. All right, cool. Yeah, so Charlie, you're straight. You're straight, man. I know it's hot there, but apparently your stuff's going to be good. The soil can't be no 115, right? Water that sucker down. Okay, so Joe's saying 125 or above will kill him. I mean, shit, that'd kill you. Okay, so what other questions? Okay, what will we do in the sand part? Let's try it. Let me Google. Let me try to help Joe out with this. What does sand do for my soil? Go. Yeah. That's 100 and fuck you is more accurate, John. Sand enhances airflow. Okay, so sand enhances the airflow in the soil, allowing the microbes to breathe and break down the organic matter into plant nutrients. There you have it. So it helps so it does. It's breathability, and it helps the microbes. Sorry about your fingers there, Joe. All right, what else we got, man? Hey, so I want to talk to you guys a little bit about. I've been seeing some posts, people struggling with their plants. Plants can fail you in a heartbeat. Okay, and it may not be your fault. All right. However, when you have 100 people like myself trying to tell you how to grow or trying to tell you how I grow, a lot of these people won't tell you that this is what works for me. I have spent years trying to figure things out, and I have screwed plants up. I have thrown more plants away than I have harvested. Okay. And I was a professional grower growing 150 at a time which is on the small scale, but I still grew a lot of damn plants. And I've thrown maybe as many away, maybe about as many. Anyway, so be careful with just how much information you're willing to enact on your growing. These plants grow by themselves, people. Okay, they've grown for years. They have done exactly what they need to do, okay, on their own. When we bring them into a house, we try to be nature, right? By giving them a light, by giving them soil, by having a fan on them, by always touching them, right? We like to touch them too much because we start getting a little bit impatient and a little worried, all right? Slow it down. If you're talking to a buddy and he says, my nutrient's way better and you want to use it on one plant and, like slowly. Don't go just switching everything over. You see all that big old bag of nutrients, this 5-pounder? Yep. In my pro grow, I was told by other professional growers, this is what you need to use and nothing else. So I bought it, right? I'm still using the damn shit. And I could go without and be just as good, I promise you. Okay? Yes, you can. If you have a greenhouse, it's basically going to be covered. So I guess that would be indoor. But I have tents all in my house, and so it's basically just a little greenhouse indoors. Yeah. So sure, absolutely, Vince. Okay, and so back to what I was saying, guys. If you're going to take advice from someone, go slow at enacting the advice into your growing style. All right. Less is always going to be more in this particular environment. Okay. Because like I said, that plant can grow on its own. As long as you're watering it and as long as you're keeping your temperatures right and you're giving it enough light, that plant's going to do exactly what it needs to do. Anybody ever heard of the stories about people growing it in a closet with a 60-watt bulb? Come on, man. Less is more. Granny Lisa, welcome. Evening. But and when I tell you guys things, these are literally things that are tried and true. All right. Just like when Joe asked me about, the soil thing. If I don't know, I'm going to tell you, man, I don't know. Okay. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to try to send you in a different direction. My job is to make y'all or help y'all grow better or grow at all. Okay. That's my job. I wouldn't want to hurt that. I promise, guys. All right. So what other questions we got, folks? Let me look at my plants and see. Let me see. Anything else, guys? Come on now. We get a million questions a day. Let's talk about watering and overwatering. Or you know what? This will go in with having a toxicity. All right. If you have I saw a post, and dang it, I can't remember his name. I reached out to him. I think it was Connor Moon or Munn. His plant just started up and dying on him. All right. It looked to me like it was either going to be a pH issue in his soil or it was going to be a magnesium. I think a magnesium toxicity. When those leaves start curling up like that and turning brown and stuff, usually it's magnesium. So what I do is I check my soil pH first. If my soil pH is good, then I know I have to feed it or flush. If it's a toxicity, I have to flush the shit out of that plant. Picking up your whole pot and putting it in a tub and watering it like you would normally water it, but just a lot of water. Let it run out. Let it keep running and keep running until that water starts to clear up a little bit. Now you're getting all those excess newts that may have been a mistake. Like maybe it said, hey, 5 mLs and you put 15 in there and now you have a toxicity. No, Josue, I can't say I've ever. Now, is this while they're still cloning? I mean, my clones after I put them in my soil, because I have an aeroponic system. So once I put them back in my soil, I usually give them a couple of weeks just to get their roots about them and slow down, to get happy. And then I can piss them off by cutting their head off, But no, I've never topped one while it was trying to root. Okay, Jeff, let me show you how I do. Give me 1 second. Now, this is a pH meter for your soil. All right. You see this hard tube? You shove it down in there and it protects this little electrode. Right. And then you turn it on right here. And then you put it in your soil, right? In this hole that it created. And then you just let it read, right? And so it's just saying it's the water 7.4. But because you got to have liquid in there. You can't let those glass probes go. Now, I know you guys don't have one of these. Like I said, the only reason I have one of these is because I had that professional grow and I still have it and it's still working great. But that's how I check my soil pH. I don't use this very much anymore because I know exactly what my soil should be. And I know what the plant's going to do if my soil starts getting pissed off. Wow, really, Jeff? Man, Blue Lab, because I have this thing too. My water pH meter, and the probe kept going bad. And so I got a hold of them and they sent it to me post haste. Oh yeah. I had it like in 3 days. Never had an issue with it either. I did have an issue with it trying to calibrate though. Okay, well, let me try to catch up with it. Amazon, Rick, Amazon. They have many other ones. And if I'm honest, Hanna, Hanna, has a soil pH meter that's maybe this big, way more usable. I think it's user friendly. So check out Hanna. Once again, guys, they're expensive, but I mean, how bad do you want to know? That's how that was why I ended up buying it, because I could not go to sleep and not know. Yeah, so this one is for pH, ppm, EC, which is electroconductivity. Now, when I use this, see, that's the nutrients part. And so that's telling me in EC, not parts per million, not how much is in the water, but how much of the nutrient is in there. I think that's how that works. Or electroconduct, I don't know. It works some shit like that. Yeah. Hanna, yes, Rick. Hanna, exactly. I believe they're like right up here with Blue Labs. Blue Labs is just really proud of their shit, I think, is their idea. But and they're good, don't get me wrong. But Hanna, I think, gives them a good run for the money, and they're a little bit more user friendly. Oh, you want to see a slurry test? Is that what you're talking about? All right. Give me a sec, guy. Do I have any water? No, sure don't. All right, little break. You guys go pee. I'm gonna go get some water, and I will do a test for you. Okay? Hold on. All right. Yeah, Josue, man, I just went and got me a gallon of water. That's it. Timmy, evening. Did I already say that? I don't know. Okay, well, I will talk about EC a little bit, Joe. Once again, I'm not that smart. I just know that that's what I need to be watching for. Okay, so we'll do some veg. Got my handy dandy measuring spoons. This is 1/4 teaspoon. All right, on the back, they tell you to put a teaspoon per gallon. I use 1/4, right? And so no wonder it lasts for so long, right? And this is only twice every 4 months that I do this. You know what? I'm going to go with a half this time just to show you guys the. No, you know what? Let's go a quarter. EC should be about 0.6. All right. Guys want to throw some CalMag in there or anything else? Or you guys just want to go with it? All right. Okay, here we go. So once again, remember the electrodes have little water. They have to be in water and stay liquid, or stay wet. In case you guys are wondering why I have that. Let me turn it. All right, so I just kind of hang it right in here. Move it around a little bit. Hit my button. All right, so when it bounces between two numbers like that, 6.9 and 7.0, being my tap water, that little bit of amendment brought it down 0.2, all right, in pH, because I know my tap water is 7.2 because I mess with it all the time. When you have equipment like this, you can check it all the time. Okay, so I pull this out. I have me a syringe of pH down, right? Now, I didn't measure that because I know what I need to use, but you guys will get there. This should be putting it right about between 6.3 and 6.5 for pH. And if not, I'll add a little bit more. You guys see it? Yep, 6.3. Cool? All right, now we're going to check the EC. All right. We throw our big old probe in there. We hit the nutrient button. And we wait. This one usually takes a little bit. Should be about 0.6, 0.7, maybe. Yeah. See, guys? Oh, made a liar. Made a liar. All right, so 0.8 is the EC. Now, they were saying, like, they have all these rules where, like, don't go over 0.5 in veg, don't go over 0.1 in flour, whatever. You seen that little quarter teaspoon? It was 0.8 EC. They have no problem with that. I fed them up to 1.5. When you use like a tablespoon, it's like 1.5 to 1.6. Plants all did fine as far as them being upset about, potency. But anyway, right there, that's how I do it, guys. As far as feeding in veg, same idea with flour. I don't use tap water, like just run out of the tap. I use with an under sink filter, so it just does the minimal stuff, but it does change the initial pH right off the bat. Sent you a paper on AC. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you, man. Okay, so let me go put this sucker back. Get out of there. Mess. All right. So yeah, pH meters. And like I said, if I had to buy a new one, I'd buy a Hannah. Real talk. What else we got? Let me go back up. I know there was another question I didn't touch. All right. Any other question, guys? greenhouse. Events, as far as a greenhouse, you don't need a humidifier. Well, you are in New Mexico. It should be humid enough. You probably don't need a humidifier, bro. Oh, Josue, are you asking me if I can show you how to top? Is that what you mean, bro? Man, I might have just read that all kind of screwy, and I apologize if I did. Uh, okay, so Joe, maintenance of your pH level. There is going to be an argument. Okay, people don't think you need to do it. The way I see it is if you have a living soil, like a true, that TLO, man, true living organisms in there, um, you probably never have to adjust your pH. I know people that never adjust their pH. However, here, if I give it 7.2 water without adjusting it, I know my soil is going to be 7.2. And with my particular strain, Mamma Mia, she will absolutely be pissed off if she goes over 6.8. The moment it hits 6.8, she is going to droop and start losing all her leaves. And that is real talk. Now, other plants don't react so violently to it. But I like to keep my soil exactly, well, not exactly, but between 6.3 and 6.5. My plants just seem to do better. It's just maybe I just taught myself that way and I just think it's God's word. I don't know. But other people, they don't think it's really a thing. Gardeners don't do it. I don't mess with my pH outdoors at all. I don't touch it. I just feed it from the hose. I just water it from the hose. I'm sure everybody else does too. So there's a question to be had if it's important in what area. And I would suggest indoors. If you're using salts, okay, like the salt additives, the nutrients that are salts, I'm sorry, guys. There's no myco in there. There's no living organisms because the salts are killing them, right? And that high pH too, though, there's a pH to be had with killing them organisms too. I don't know, man. It's a good question, Joe. Maybe I should just have you on here and we can talk about it. Might be a good thing. And looks at my girls now. Oh yeah, nah. Travis knows what's up. Yeah. Need a haircut? I'm sure of it, nah. Okay. Okay, Shane, with the runoff. But once again, I have heard arguments over whether it's viable or not. I've heard that checking your runoff means nothing for what's in your soil. It can tell you what was in it. I'm sure of it. And that's literally all I know on it. I don't do runoff anymore. I used to. And then I would just test it with my pH meter. And it was always through the roof, always. But my soil would be good. So I'm not so sure that's an accurate way to test on it. All right, Bubba? Okay, let me see. Yeah. Check runoff. Yeah, that runoff, man. I don't buy it, bro. Water faucet tends to have a lot of chemicals, mainly chlorine. Should use bottle. Yeah, and Vince is right in there. The water always has chlorine in it, and that will kill all your organisms in your soil. So there's that. Did a slurry test. EC. I will get back to y'all on the EC part, okay? Yeah, we'll go here. So what's pistachio? Came in late. Hell yeah, Joe. I say we do something together, man. We'll get you on here and let you talk. Certain spectrum will help the pest blockage, and they said something in there that's different. Spectrums. Are you talking about light? The different colors of light, Shane? The light spectrum? Because I would suggest whatever color or whatever of the spectrum does the UV. From what I understand, it activates some kind of protection thing in the plant. Acid first grow at focus, make sure they stay in full. Nice. I haven't had anything beyond that. Bought my first pair of trimmers and I'm still trying. Long before I switched. Poop. Okay. All right. So what was the fucking question? So I asked you, Shane, and you said, yeah. What was the damn question? Reading certain. Oh yeah, so the light spectrums. That's all I know about it, man. Literally, is I know like the reds do. What was the reds? I think the reds help with like flower development. The blues are like with rooting. I don't know. I'm no expert on that part either. There's so much to know. I literally stopped hurting my head with trying to know it all. You don't need to know it all, man. Just go with what you know, and then you can, as you age, learn more. All right. Okay. All right. So no more questions. Come on, y'all. Challenge. Give me a challenge. See, Joe challenged me, and I didn't have a response. Joe, I'm gonna have to talk with you prior. That way I can be ready for your questions. Par meters. Okay. Facebook user. I have a par meter. Unfortunately, it is not with me at the moment, so I can't show you that. They're expensive. There's a much better way as far as money is concerned. When you buy your light, generally, like I've bought my lights off Amazon, and in Amazon up in the top in the picture, you can scroll over and see other pictures. Most of the time they have a box that'll tell you at 12 inches what your par will be in the center and then out as it goes. And then they'll give you a 24-inch and a 36-inch scale. So you know that when you are in veg, you want to have your par between 500, 750 or whatever, right? So at 12 inches is where, or 24 inches is going to give you that 500 par. All right. Instead of going spending $600 on a par meter like I did, just go with that kind of stuff. The rule of thumb for me was the tip of my finger to my bent elbow, like that, was the distance that I grew my plants for 2 years. And I just kept them at that distance no matter what their age was, and if they were in flower or not. All right, Facebook user. All right. I will end up doing another one on par meters. Outside the sun, I checked here in Oklahoma. I think it was either late June or early July. My par read with my big old meter, or my nice meter. It read 2,000 at eye height. Okay. And so outdoors, it's why those plants get so much bigger, is because the environment just is able to host that much heat, and those plants are okay with it. Indoors, you put your tent up to 100 degrees indoors and watch what happens. Promise. We should talk about light intensity, different stages of growth. Yeah, I think for the lights and the intensities and all that good stuff, and we can go with the whole spectrum and stuff. I have to do some research on that so I don't get caught telling you guys something that's not true. That could literally take me an hour. There's a lot of good YouTube videos that talk about par. These people they have like degrees and they're doctors and stuff, and this is what they do. They talk about par. As a matter of fact, I can give you that name. Let me get on YouTube real quick, because I subscribe to this guy and I watch him every now and again. Give me one sec, y'all. Come on, internet. Joe, my internet's messing up too. Subscriptions. No. Okay, NPK. Ask Harley. Ask Dr. Harley, right? That dude. He talks about everything as far as growing, but he also has a really good deal on a really good show on par and what to know about it. And Joe's talking about Dr. Bruce Bixby. As far as information, Joe knows a lot of information sources. And so that's why I threw that up there for y'all. And the University of Utah, yep, as well, folks, okay? All right. So with that being said, guys, if you have ideas for other shows, if there's something that I've covered that you need me to reiterate or go over it again, just ask, okay? And I need to know, though. I don't know otherwise. Derek, I can't give you any feedback, man. I don't know which one they are. Yeah, I don't know, Bubba. I don't know who makes them. Be careful. Be careful. I mean, you don't want to go spending $200 and then get yourself some kind of crappy China stuff. You know what I mean? All right. Okay, y'all. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, man. I hope I was able to answer a couple of questions at least. Once again, if you guys have some ideas that you need me to do a show on or teach you something, or don't be afraid to message me too. Message me, and if I can help, I will. Okay. If I can't, I know somebody that will. All right. Yeah. Phone apps can be a little shady. All right. Hey guys, I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna go right on here. This is something I wanted to mention to you guys. Facebook, right? So we get on Facebook. You go to your menu. You go to your shortcuts, right? Go to vet codes. You see the Reels button, right? And then they have the chats, the about, rooms, and featured, and photos, and events, and files. If you get into files, there's recipes in there, man. There's stuff to watch. There's potting soil recipes, super soil recipes, how to do it yourself auto flowering. All right. I'm gonna try to get some more videos up in there, right? And talk to you a little bit more about it. But don't forget to go use that resource, guys, and don't forget YouTube's. We have these shows. If you can't find them on the Facebook page, go to the Vet Codes YouTube page, and it's even in Misfit Farms YouTube page. Okay, so y'all go get after it. Once again, y'all have a good night, and thanks for showing up. All right, guys. Until next time. Happy growing.